Let's take a look at how we can adjust the looks of this 3D rendered view here. So firstly, here under this wrench-like icon, we have a list of presets that we can browse, and we could click any of the presets and select that one to be used for the 3D rendered view. And the current default preset is highlighted with this border, but if we would like to select some other preset as default, we would first select it and then right click on top of that in order to set that as default. That would be used always when opening the volumes. If none of the ready-made presets please you, you can always adjust the current presets, and then you could add them as your own ones in the list. So for example, if we adjust this rendering here now a little bit, let's add that, and we could give it a name, and it would be saved here in the list of the previous. And naturally, if we make these own presets and we would like to get rid of them, we could select them and use this delete button here. What else we have here in this dialog is that we could pick resolution for the volume. So for example, if we would like to make very nice images, we could pick higher resolution. And here we could also adjust the background color for the 3D rendered view. So, for example, picking a lighter shade might help us in seeing some details better. Let's then take a look at these sliders that we have here under the 3D rendering tools. So with the first one, we can adjust contrast for the 3D rendered view. The second one adjusts brightness. And the third one is the threshold slider. So by adjusting this, we can determine which all densities will be displayed in the view. So if we move this to the right, we can get rid of the softer tissues until there's nothing left of the volume. The fourth one is transparency slider. And if we would like to use histogram for adjusting our 3D rendered view, we can find the histogram also here. So this displays all the densities, and we could restrict the range of densities that we see, and then we could adjust by moving this gamma, so we could adjust for which densities we would like to be able to distinguish more details. Here in the histogram, we also have the drop down for changing the coloring of the volume, so we could use a different color scale if we would like to. We also then have other adjustments here that affect how the volume looks like. So for example, we could change here with this function, we could change the direction from which the light comes on the volume. Then with this function, we can toggle between this normal isometric representation of the 3D rendered view, or then we could change it to closer to how a human eye perceives the volume. So it's changing the perspective. Then we could also apply a smoothing on the volume, a smoothing filter, and this enhanced depth here colors the volume so that the parts that are closest to us are colored in warmer colors, and the more distant parts in colder ones. The clean rendering tool is then covered in that cropping volume tutorial. Let's still take a look at how we can display also soft tissue here on the volume, or colored soft tissue. So we could activate here this function for showing all the soft tissue in color, and we could actually change the color also using these color boxes here. And when we have this soft tissue mode activated, we could also adjust the soft tissue. So if we select the soft tissue here in the drop down, we could, for example, change the transparency of this soft tissue overlay. Another option for viewing soft tissue is only to show the outline of the soft tissue. So if we activate this other icon here, we will only see the outline instead of the full soft tissue volume.